Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. E.Y. Yip Harburg.
Thank you. Thank you all. To introduce myself, I belong to a special tribe of what used to be called troubadours. Sometimes they were called minstrels. Now we're called songwriters, who were not ashamed of a thing called romance, emotion, humor, and especially the English language. We lived in a world that knew the difference between sentiment and sentimentality. In this world, we brewed coffee and savored the aroma as it percolated. In this world, we took time off to woo a girl. It wasn't instant like the coffee, but it was good to the last drop. Ecology was still intact. We had not yet zapped the fish out of the waters, nor smogged out the bluebird or the rainbow out of the sky. We worked for, in our songs, a sort of a better world, a rainbow world. Now, my generation, unfortunately, never succeeded in creating that rainbow world, so we can't hand it down to you. But we could hand down our songs, which still hang on to hope and laughter, so that in times of confusion like these, when all the world is a hopeless jumble and the raindrops tumble all around, heaven opens a magic lane. When purple clouds darken up the skyway, there's a lovely highway to be found, leading from your window pane to a spot behind the sun, just a step beyond the rain. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me, somewhere over the rainbow. Bluebirds fly, birds fly over that rainbow. Why then, oh why can't I? If any little bird can fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh why can't I? Another show that was almost left on the cutting room floor in Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer was a show called The Wizard of Oz. It was by that much of a hair of luck that it was done. After it got to the front office, the idea for it, there was a little girl somewhere in a back room called Judy Garland who had a 7-year contract And we needed a show for her, and we came to Louis B. Mayer and said, we've got a beautiful show, Wizard of Oz. Wizard of Oz, he said. That fantasy stuff, that's for kids. Has no sex, it has no porno, it has no violence, it's uncommercial. I said, but it has a lot of comedy, and it has a lot of heart. He said, where's the comedy? I said, I've got a show running in New York called Life Begins at 8:40, and in it are two fellas, Ray Bolger and Bert Lahr. Can you picture them as the Scarecrow and the Cowardly Lion? He says, all right, let's do it. So the show was done. But the lyric writer was called in and said, we need a song for the man with the brain, the heart, the courage. Nobody could have been elected that was more qualified for the job. If ever a man lacked courage, brain, and the heart, it was me. And so, the lyrics were comparatively easy. For the Scarecrow, I could while away the hours, conferring with the flowers, consulting with the rain. And my head I'd be scratching while my thoughts were busy hatching if I only had a brain. I would not be just a nuffin', my heart all full of stuffin', my brain all full of pain. And perhaps I'd deserve you and be even worthier of you if I only had a brain. And a little of the Tin Man. Picture me, a balcony, above a voice sings low.
Wherefore art thou, Romeo?
I hear a beat. How sweet, just to register emotion, jealousy, devotion, and really feel the part. I could stay young and chipper, and I'd lock it with a zipper if I only had a heart. And of course there was the Cowardly Lion. That was my meat. Life is sad, believe me, missy, when you're born to be a sissy without the vim and verve. But I could show my prowess, be a lion, not a Maoist, if I only had the nerve. There was a great singer by the name of Lawrence Tibbett, opera singer. When we were working at Hollywood, Harold and I were living together. Harold Arlen, that's it. And one day he came up with a song. We weren't asked to write it, but he said, yep, I have a tune, and I think it calls for a lyric whether we know where it belongs or not. And he played it for me. I was so moved by that tune that I wrote a song for it. I wrote a lyric for it. I didn't know where it was going to land. But Lawrence Tibbett heard it one night at a party, and he was doing a show for Fox, and he asked Fox to buy it, and they did. And they paid a handsome sum of money, and it was left on the cutting room floor. However, Arthur Freed, who had that beautiful group of song teamers in Metro, heard the song, a connoisseur of music. He bought it for Judy Garland. Judy Garland did it in a picture. It was cut out of the picture and left on the cutting room floor. Finally, Frank Sinatra heard it, and he picked it up, made a record of it. He's been singing it ever since, and luckily, the tune has become a classic hit, thanks to him. Thanks to Harold, who wrote this great tune, which he considers his best tune, and I think it is too. I hope I have a lyric to match. I don't have a voice to match, so I'll just let you know what the lyric is. Last night, when we were young. Love was a star, a song unsung. Life was so new, so real, so right. Ages ago, last night. Today, the world is old. You flew away, and time grew cold. Where is that star that seemed so bright ages ago, last night? To think that spring depended on merely this, a look, a kiss. To think that something so splendid could slip away in one little daybreak. So now, let's reminisce and recollect the sighs and the kisses, the arms that clung when we were young. Last night.